We're looking at our movies that we're looking forward to the most this year, and I was going through the list of on IMDb of what's coming out, and I was surprised with how many movies I'm looking forward to. Mm-hmm. And if you want, I can kick it off.
Go ahead.
Number one, and most of these are in order, but the one I'll go out of order for is Superman.
Yes.
The James Gunn taking over the DCU, and creating his own universe and his own interpretation of these characters. And the man who's playing Superman, I'm blanking, but he was in Twisters. He plays one of
Storm Chasers?
Yeah, one of the corporate storm chasers.
Okay.
And it's funny because in one of the scenes you have Anthony Ramos. It was a blooper, and it's Anthony Ramos and the guy Brandon something who plays Superman, and they're in the car, and then all of a sudden Brandon starts jokingly yelling at Anthony Ramos' character, and then Anthony was getting yelled at by Superman over here, because it was during that filming they found out that he got cast as that.
Yeah.
So that was fun. But this one looks so good. Basically, the simple synopsis: the titular superhero reconciles his heritage with his human upbringing. Superman is the embodiment of truth, justice, and the human way in a world that views this as old-fashioned. It just looks great, and from what I'm hearing, initial viewings of it or testings of this film, people are comparing it to another James Gunn film, The Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh,
so if this movie is nearly as good as Guardians of the Galaxy, then we're in really, really good hands.
Is it Guardians of the Galaxy 1, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, or 3? Because there's a big difference.
I think they just say Guardians of the Galaxy 1, implying number 1.
Okay.
But I'm a fan of 2 and 3. I think they all hold up very well. I think 1 is probably my favorite, but they each have their thing that they're a really good standalone film, and they each have their own thing that you can relate to, attach to, or reason to say it's your favorite.
Okay. Now you said truth. What is it?
Truth, justice, and the human way.
The human way. That used to be the American way.
Yes.
When did that change happen?
Well, I think that must have changed in the comics, maybe, because I remember this being a topic of political discussion, maybe 10 years ago or so.
Oh, so I'm late.
Yeah, a little late, but no, but again, a lot of people, have that Christopher Reeve slogan, truth, justice, and the American way. But as time passes, and the world is more than just America. We don't encompass everything. And so for somebody, an alien who is there to protect the entire world, it kind of makes sense that, you want to represent all humans as opposed to just the 48 and the two and Alaska and Hawaii.
Is there really anything outside of America? I don't know.
Apparently there is. Do you know the singer? Again, we're going off on a tangent, but do you know the singer Robbie Williams?
Yeah.
I had no idea who he was. He has a new movie coming out, the biopic, where he's represented by a chimpanzee.
Yeah.
So on Reddit, people are talking about it. Apparently, I guess he is known in America, but not that well known in Europe, in Asia, in Africa. He's really a really hot thing. But he hasn't really made that mark so much so in America. So a lot of people, a lot of Americans saying, who the heck is this guy? I was one of those people. Who is Robbie Williams? I thought that was the character's name, the monkey's name in the trailer. And so then I Googled it, he was part of this boy band, then went solo, and then has had his ups and downs and success and, failures. But I never heard of him. And many Americans also apparently have never heard of him either until this movie.
Yeah. Welcome, Robbie Williams.
Welcome to America, Robbie Williams.
But that one looks really cool, too.
I'm on the fence on that one. That's not on my list of most anticipated films of 2025.
It looks interesting. At least different.
Yeah. My wife has opinions on this. She's
boy.
because some of the reviews are they take so many risks. It's risk-taking movie, risk-taking filmmaking.
Yeah.
And my wife's what's the risk? Looking like a monkey? Being a CGI monkey? What's that's not a big risk in 2025.
Yeah.
So
I guess.
So that was funny.
I just like things that are different.
No, that's true.
We see so many
reviews
tropes done over and over and over again. So I'd say that's something I want to check out.
The reviews are looking good.
Okay.
People are saying that they went in not expecting much, or not knowing who Robbie Williams is or was, and pleasantly surprised. So it is getting good reviews.
All right. Well, there's that.
There's that.
And then there's this. If you're looking for a super romantic movie to go see this year on Valentine's Day, there's nothing more romantic than Harrison Ford is a giant red Hulk. So, Captain America Brave New World, slated for a Valentine's Day release.
Yeah.
You know.
Hearts are red. Harrison's red in this movie. Makes sense.
What is it? Violets are red. So is the Hulk. Let's go have funny.
The Hulk is red. Violets are blue. Let's all go down to the AMC and watch
the movie with you. There we go. Something like that. Something like we're poets here, among other things.
I'm not sure about. I mean, again, I'm in that stage where something has to really excite me for Marvel to get me, excited for a film. I am looking forward to. On my list is the Fantastic Four movie, but this one isn't really doing it for me. Thunderbolts isn't really doing it for me. Like, I'm not like that. That's not on my list this year. I don't know why. I just hit that fatigue. Pedro Pascal, however, and what's his name? Not Joaquin. The guy who plays the Human Torch. He was in Stranger Things. Something Smith? Joseph Smith.
Okay. I believe you.
Joseph Quinn.
Okay.
Joseph Quinn, Pedro Pascal. They're in the Fantastic Four movie, so I'm looking forward to that. But you're looking forward to the Avengers.
I am a fan of Anthony Mackie's Captain America. Mm-hmm. I am. And as everyone knows, Harrison Ford is my secret imaginary elderly boyfriend. I've been in love with him since I was 9 years old.
Of course.
Of course, who isn't? Mm-hmm. So I want to give it a chance. And it looks... I really liked the trailers. I really liked the previews and the editing on that, the bum, 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 and what they did with the lettering and stuff like that. I'm hoping that maybe they've done something new, creative with the editing. I'm hoping there's a solid storyline. There's not much... Hulks beating each other and stuff like that, and shit blowing up and things like that. Standard fare.
Yeah.
I'm not going into it expecting anything like super deep or transformative, but I got to be there for my man. I got to be there for Harrison, right? He's counting on me.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm hoping to get a decent movie out of it. Mm-hmm. I'm hoping to get something, worthwhile. Like I said, really like Anthony Mackie. I have hope.
Yeah.
I have hope.
Well, they say, again, the only reason why I think this could be a very good movie is that Marvel or the MCU, they really need a pivot because they've hit this slog period of people not being excited for their films, and so they need something to kind of reset after the whole what's his name, the guy from Ant-Man who. Not Dr. Doom, the other character, Kang. Mm-hmm. After the Jonathan Majors thing and the Kang universe getting destroyed, and now you're throwing back in Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans is coming back.
Yeah.
This is their okay, we have to get things on track. We need to put our top scientists on this to make sure that people are interested in this leads a path or makes a new pathway for the MCU.
Yeah, and letting go of Chris Evans to begin with, and Iron Man, RDJ.
Does it hurt? I mean, not hurt, but doesn't...
And they're going to bring him back now.
It kind of bugs me that they're bringing them back.
As a different character?
Yeah, so I think Chris Evans will probably play a Captain America variant. I know there's one, I forget what comic book character it is, but basically he's a rogue Captain America or a solitude Captain America who turned his back against the efforts, so yada yada yada. So there are rumors that he may be coming back as that variant. Again, the whole variant thing and multiverse is kind of wearing thin.
Yeah. Well, they've made sure that they can create any kind of story into perpetuity.
Yeah.
But how good it will be remains to be seen. What else remains to be seen?
Yes.
You like that?
That's good. That's good. And what is destined for greatness, and I will accept nothing less, is Paddington in Peru. Paddington 3. He returns to Peru to visit his beloved Aunt Lucy, who now resides at the home for retired bears. With the Brown family in tow, the thrilling adventure ensues when a mystery plunges them into an unexpected journey. Mm-hmm. Jamie, I'm looking forward to this movie a lot. right now, we just introduced my daughter, who's over a year and a half, to Paddington.
Yay.
So not the movies, but we start with the books. My daughter loves books, and so we've cracked open the first Paddington book, new illustration and stuff, and so we're reading with her. She loves it, and so the thing is, went to a bookstore. And they had the Paddington doll, like the Paddington teddy bear with the coat and the hat and everything. I was like, oh my goodness, this is great. Maya, look, it's Paddington. She's like, huh? Like, did not gravitate towards it at all. Of course, I was crushed, but I didn't let her see that. I didn't want her to know that Daddy was hurt. But I was like, we'll get to it eventually. My wife, however, ended up getting the book. And now my daughter loves it. Loves reading it and loves looking at it, and we're gonna introduce like the series of it, and so eventually one day we will have a movie marathon of watching Paddington 1, 2, and 3. But if Paddington is half as good, part 3 half as good as part 2, then I think it'll be a great trilogy to rest on.
That you are very passionate about Paddington.
Yes.
As anyone who watches this podcast knows. So that's sweet. That's wonderful. I did see the trailer for that, and it looks really cute.
It looks really good.
So
the mom, again, I'm blanking on her name. I need a list of names. But the mom who plays the actress who plays the mom in both 1 and 2, she's now returning. They recast her because they filmed in like Peru or South America, and at the time she became sick and couldn't physically travel. And so I was hoping maybe they could have delayed the film or done something because I really love that actress. Unfortunately, she could not make it, so they recast her. I'm hoping that that's not too much of a distraction because my wife also loves that actress and her character in parts 1 and 2. So that's the only downside to this one, but I'm sure, again, as long as the heart is there, the fun is there, I think it's going to be a good time.
I think I'm also hoping that the heart and the fun is in this next movie that is also slated for release in 2025. Just wrapped up filming not too long ago. Happy Gilmore 2.
I don't have high hopes for this one.
No, come on. Because
how can it be good?
How could it be good? He says, well, the original is a classic.
Okay.
The original is a classic for sure.
Right.
And, Adam Sandler, he's back. He is the same character. So he's hit or miss, I know, right? Adam Sandler movies in the last decade or so or more have been hit or miss. But I love Happy Gilmore so much.
Yeah, it's great.
Right, it came out originally in 1996. It's a long time to wait for. It's almost 30 years, right, later.
Crazy.
I don't know how they could possibly top it, but I'm hoping they can match it. This was filmed in Rhode Island, here in New England, and what I love about Adam Sandler movies, not just, his brand of comedy, right? But he always films in New England. He's a New England boy. He's from New Hampshire. And he always has like hundreds of background. Like this man puts people to work. He employs people for these movies. They pay really well. Like he cares about the people that he puts in his movies. So like behind the scenes in the creation of these films, like stand-up guy, love it, love to see it. I would love to see him do a sequel for every movie he's ever done, as long as it brings jobs to New England. As far as if they're good movies to watch, I have hope. Again, I sound like Princess Leia with the hope, hope, hope. But I want to be entertained by this one. I know you're like, you're like, no.
I can't imagine this being good at all. Somebody was joking, like he couldn't even shave his beard for this film. He just strolls out of his trailer or whatever, walks up in his jersey and basketball shorts.
Just like the character.
That's like the character, I guess, but without the beard. But yeah, I can't imagine this being good. I'll wait for the reviews. If it's streaming, maybe I'll put it on if I'm washing dishes or something. But I feel like this, there's some movies that's how I judge. Like, can I watch this movie while doing the dishes? Yeah. If so, then I'll put it on the ledge over there with the windowsill and do it while I'm washing dishes.
But they're bringing back Shooter McGavin.
Yeah, you
they're
have
bringing
to.
back the originals, and
you have to. Except Carl Weathers. Carl Weathers
he
passed away, of course.
Yeah.
So they'll have to obviously pay tribute to him somehow. But
he passed away in the movie too.
Yeah, but
didn't his character?
Yeah, but there was a dream. There was a heaven sequence, wasn't there?
Yeah, where he comes back with the wooden hand that he's waving.
He could have done that, but No, but so they'll pay tribute to him somehow.
Okay.
There'll be a missing hand joke or something.
Yeah.
Happy will like go through like a chest or something. When he's down, he's like, oh, I can't do it. I can't golf anymore. And then he's gonna open a chest and the hand will pop out, saying, yes, you can.
Yeah.
Like, okay. That's the joke. That's the quality of a movie I'm expecting. A higher quality movie than I'm expecting and hoping for. I'm a fan of horror, I'm a fan of the classic Hollywood horror monsters, the Universal monsters. The Leigh Whannell, who directed The Invisible Man several years ago, I think maybe 5 years ago now, he's kind of going into the monsterverse for Universal and bringing these characters back. And he's also bringing back the Wolfman. This one's just called Wolfman. It's about a family at a remote farmhouse attacked by an unseen animal, but as the night stretches on, the father begins to transform into something unrecognizable. This looks great. I'm always up for a wolf movie, a Wolfman movie. Again, the Universal classic horror monsters. I'm happy that they're making a return. I think there are like 2 Frankenstein movies that are coming out. Guillermo del Toro is doing one, and there's another one. Did you see? Were you a fan of the show? The 2 twins who were like on The Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, or Zach and Bill, or whatever.
No.
But do you know who I'm talking about?
I know what you're talking about.
So one of those guys, one of the brothers, he was in a Frankenstein movie last year, and there's like a comedy, I think it was like a period 80s or 90s version of it, but it got good reviews, like a funny movie. I'm not sure if you had seen it, but. Frankenstein, really hot right now.
That's right.
But Wolfman, hoping that's going to be a good one because it looks really, really interesting. A lot of really good acting in that too.
So, how do you feel about Mission Impossible Part 10?
I'm back on board, baby.
Is it 10?
I'll ride the sunset with Mr. Cruise any day.
The Final Reckoning.
The Final Reckoning. This is on my list, coming out May 23rd. This was supposed to be the part 2 to the last Reckoning movie, but then
the first Reckoning, and now the Final Reckoning.
This is the final one. There was supposed to be a part 2, but now they've labeled this as like the new, just its own standalone film, also following the events of the last one, of course. But the wording's, it's all semantics. But this one I'm looking forward to. The last one was good, maybe not the best Mission Impossible movie in the franchise, but it was entertaining. It had a lot of good stunts. One thing I hope they don't do for this film, however, is like the last film where they kept publicizing Tom Cruise rides a motorcycle off a cliff. Here he is going off the cliff in the trailer. Here are 20 hours of behind-the-scenes shots of him practicing and cruising and jumping and doing it again and again and again. Like, they overkilled and over-publicized that jump, that when it did happen in the movie, it was done in 30 seconds. And I was like, okay, I had seen this. And so what was supposed to be one of the biggest moments of the movie, they took out all the energy. They sucked out all the air from that. So I hope they don't do that with this film. Okay. Whatever the big stunt's going to be.
I don't know, but it was good marketing. It drove a lot of people in.
Yeah, but they didn't make as much money as they hoped for, so maybe they pulled back a little bit. So that's why they did the whole part 2, nixing the part 2 idea, because it didn't make as much money as they were hoping for. I know they were impacted by COVID. They had to do a lot of reshoots. It cost a whole bunch more because of filming during the pandemic. Extra safety measures and whatnot.
Right.
And so they had a lot of things going against it, which ballooned the budget, which didn't help it when they were trying to make that money back. But I think just pull back. We know Tom Cruise is going to go nuts. Just just save it for the movie is what I hope for.
Okay. Yeah, maybe more like, guess what Tom Cruise did this time? You got to watch the movie to find out.
He fought a gorilla and won.
The most dangerous stunt ever.
He did. I know. Yeah, that's...
How is he still alive?
I don't know. But you know what? Who is still alive and is repeatedly coming back to life? Robert Pattinson in the new movie, Mickey 17. Mickey 17 is about an expendable worker who goes on a dangerous journey to colonize an ice planet. This is based off a novel, which I believe is called Mickey 27, where a character, Robert Pattinson's character, he is working in space, and he's an expendable, which means that once he dies, I don't know the exact details of the contract, but when he dies, his body gets incinerated, his dead body gets incinerated, and he comes back to life as a clone. The thing is, he doesn't really remember. He doesn't like regain his memories. However, during I think after like the 17th time or something, he starts remembering like, oh, I'm constantly being killed, and I know I signed up for this, but maybe I want more. Then all of a sudden there are two Robert Pattinsons because there's only supposed to be one at a time, but now there are two, then maybe possibly three at a time. So that's like
that looks cool.
It looks really cool. I know this has been postponed several times, but Mickey 17 is on the list of most anticipated
and
films.
we love Robert Pattinson. He was here not too long ago.
He was here on the Hub on
with-
Hollywood. He wasn't.
Shooting with Zendaya. We were just chasing him around
in
town.
Boston.
So excited for him and all the good things that he does and the filming that he does here in New England.
Yeah.
There's two more things on my list.
Go ahead,
James. And first of one.
That's a good start. Good spot to start.
First of all, our Lord and Savior, Rian Johnson. One of my favorite directors, not yours. Not your favorite.
He's not my favorite. I respect him for certain movies, but not for other movies. But yes, go on.
Yes. I love everything that he's ever done, and I love his brand of storytelling. I adore him. I got to hang out with him once. Story for another time.
Yeah.
Anyways, Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery. The next iteration.
The third.
The third iteration of the Knives Out movies. The original filmed here in Massachusetts, super successful, starring yours truly. My hands, anyway. I got to be a body double for Anna de Armas.
And your feet.
And my feet, right. That was a heck of a job. So, yeah. Hands, feet, body double driving. So the scenes where you don't kind of see her face, odds are it's me.
All right.
That was a really life-changing experience, honestly. The second movie, they filmed it overseas, which was a little bit sad. Now they're working on Wake Up Dead Man. I love all of the Knives Out movies. I love he loves noir, right? The noir mystery. And the way that he brings in all of these eccentric characters, and he's always got this great cast of A-listers and people with unique talents.
And set of skills.
And sets of skills, and it's always this just really satisfying whodunit. I'm very, very much looking forward to this one. It doesn't have a release date yet, but it is set for release sometime in 2025, probably later in the year. Again, we have got Daniel Craig back as the sleuth Benoit Blanc, who has found himself embroiled in another case with loads of suspects, a suspiciously high body count, apparently. Some of those who are going to be starring in this one, Glenn Close.
All right.
In for a close-up on this one. Kerry Washington, Josh Brolin, Thanos himself, right?
Nice.
Jeremy Renner.
Nice.
Kaylee Spaney, Josh O'Connor, Mila Kunis. And the list goes on and on and on. So it's always a stacked cast, always an interesting story. And like I said, I love his brand of storytelling and filmmaking. If you're looking for another person, Ryan, I'm always available. Ring at any time. Would love to be a part of it again.
I loved Knives Out. The second one, Glass Onion, really enjoyed. The last 2 minutes kind of like for me at least, I don't want to spoil anything in case you haven't seen it, but it just kind of like it wrapped up or ended very quickly and in a way that left me kind of like underwhelmed. I liked where it was going, and all of a sudden just like it took a quick left turn. I'm like, you're going to stick the landing for me at least, and it didn't work out. But it's still a great movie, a lot of great actors and a lot of good stuff.
Edward Norton's
great, fantastic in it. Dave Bautista's great, fantastic in it. A lot of good stuff. So hopefully, fingers crossed, part 3 they nail it. Next on my list, I'll just say these two movies. And, historically, you know me on the Hub on Hollywood. Not a fan of the live adapted movies from cartoons or CGI, whatever, what have you. But for some reason, I am really looking forward to How to Train Your Dragon and Lilo and Stitch.
Okay.
I will admit, right now, and this is before we started watching the movie, but we just introduced my daughter to Lilo and Stitch. So now we got her a Stitch, the doll, and we're watching Lilo and Stitch on repeat now. Like, constantly. We're in that phase of parenting where we've introduced them to a movie and they want to watch that movie over and over again. But it's a great, great, great movie. Love it. It's so beautiful. Great story, great acting. Nothing to not like about that film or the characters. And so they recently came out with like the look of the live action Stitch, and it looks really good. It looks really, really good. It looks really fun. If they stick to the main beats of the first movie, I don't see how this could fail. Again, usually I'm in the camp of like, the original was perfect, and I agree. The Lion King, perfect. Doesn't need to be remade. Or Beauty and the Beast, perfect. Doesn't need to be remade. Lilo and Stitch, perfect. This one, however, I don't mind it being remade because right now we're watching again. Unlike your strategy, we've introduced our daughter to the original one.
No, yeah.
And then
you've done it the correct way.
And then down the road, years later, then we'll introduce the live action one.
Yeah.
And so as long as my daughter has the love for the cartoon, then okay, and then we're good to try the other ones.
I just really hope that these two projects will not be a horror show the way that some of the other live action Disney adaptations
like
have
Mufasa
been.
or the prequel.
Yeah.
Have you seen Mufasa?
No, I haven't seen Mufasa yet. Yeah, no, I had no interest. But like the Jungle Book, like it was so terrifying. It was so scary, right? And I ended up like traumatizing my kids by taking them to go see the live action adaptations first.
Yeah.
Or Aladdin. I mean, Aladdin wasn't that bad, but
I mean,
still.
Will Smith and genie makeup.
Yeah.
Genie Will Smith could be horrifying.
It could be
terrifying.
It was okay. It was okay. But here's hoping that these are actually like good. I feel like over the last decade, maybe these studios have learned a thing or two about the live action adaptations, or maybe not, based on Mufasa. We'll see.
Yeah. For How to Train Your Dragon, that looks also really good. Again, they showed clips of what Toothless looks like. Gerard Butler, who plays the dad in the animated movies, he's reprising his role as the dad, the Viking King, in this one. So he's great in that, and looking forward to this one.
What I like about How to Train Your Dragon is like character development. There's time progression.
Oh, yeah.
Like those are the kinds of stories that I like, where you don't just stay with a character and he stays like a kid forever. It's like, no, you get to see this person grow up.
From a boy Hiccup to a man
Right.
To Mr. Hiccup.
To Mr. Hiccup. And how the world changes around them and how they evolve as a person. And like, I like that. So that's good.
So fingers crossed that these look good. My last two that I'll throw in here, unless you have any more.
I have one more.
Go ahead. Yes.
Since we're talking about live action adaptations, the number one thing that I am looking forward to next year, it is not a movie, but it is season 2 of the live action One Piece on Netflix. Season 1.
With your voluptuous characters.
With our voluptuous. But look, you know what?
I'm kidding.
At least they're not going in that trajectory.
Yet.
They're much more respectful so far in the live action adaptation. I think that there were a lot of positive changes from the anime to the live action that make it more digestible, more fun. I love it. And it was so fun and engaging. And it's not just the story, and it's not just the stunts and the fighting and the action. It's how gorgeous the cinematography is. Every single frame of the live action One Piece is a work of art. From the set dressing in the background to the costumes and the framing and the lighting, just every single thing. I could just watch it a million times over, not even for the story, just for how beautiful it is. And I'm really, really hoping that we get that again in season 2, but also because I love the characters and I love the actors and the way that they portray these characters and the story that Eiichiro Oda has created and the world that is so expansive and incredible. I cannot wait to see how they have put this together in season 2. The live action got me into the anime. The anime, 11 100 plus episodes
Too many.
and still going.
Too many.
Right? But the way that a lot of people think it's daunting, it is. And I've been watching the anime trying to catch up for like
Do you start in the middle?
3 months.
Do you start in the beginning?
I started in the beginning. Well, look, I watched the live action One Piece, and that's season 1. So I skipped like the first season of the anime.
Okay.
Because I'm like, I know what happens, right? And I started with season 2, and I've been watching it for like 2-3 months now, and I'm on episode 700, and there's still like 400 plus to go, and sometimes it's daunting. It's a little hard to get through it sometimes. There's a lot of filler.
My brain kind of fried for a second. So you're on episode 700?
700.
In season 2, what number did that start with?
I don't remember. It was like 40 or 50 or 60 around there.
Are you telling me you've watched 650 episodes?
Yes.
How long are these episodes?
They're like 20 minutes.
I need your time.
20, 25
You have a time
minutes.
machine that stops time? I can't imagine.
No, I have an overnight job. That's what I have.
That works. That also counts. That also works. Goodness.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want this scenario to play out. And let me know if this has happened. But like you're watching the anime, right? You're at home watching, and a voluptuous character walks in, and then your husband walks in, and you're like, "It's for the story. I'm watching for the story."
It's not that perverted.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
At least not until after
I'm
the
being
time
a lot.
skip.
I'm being a lot right now.
No, but it's so good, and the storylines and everything to do with Luffy and his friends and the world and all of these characters, which is why I'm currently doing my drawing series, which is why you should go right now to all of our social medias at Hub on Hollywood. Check out our drawing series. I'm going to be doing one a week, as I said before.
One piece a week.
One piece a week until One Piece season 2 comes out sometime at the end of this year.
If it gets postponed a year,
I'm gonna cry.
I'll cry for you.
Well, it's not. It's not. Don't say that. Why would you say that?
I had to. Sorry.
Okay.
Well,
but they're done filming. They just finished filming, and yeah, so it should be coming out this year.
all right. Well, what I hope will not get postponed either are these last movies I'm looking forward to. Coming out in June, 28 Years Later, the third film in the Years X Later franchise of the zombies. There's 28 days later, 28 weeks later. Now we're up to 28 years later.
What happened to months?
They accumulate to years.
Okay.
And so Cillian Murphy, he's back for his role.
him.
Some people saw like a very emaciated.
You got it.
Zombie. I speak for a living. Zombie, and they thought, is that Cillian Murphy? It's like, no, that's not Cillian Murphy. It's just a zombie that kind of resembles him. But Cillian has those deep cheekbones, so some people were theorizing. But no, he is not a zombie in this movie, as far as I understand. And lastly, based off of the Predator franchise, or continuing the Predator franchise, Predator Badlands. I believe it was last year they came out with one that took place during the 1800s, where a Native American tribe was battling Predator.
Yeah,
so they're kind of following.
Cool.
They're kind of following that kind of like new era, or different, not present day, but like different period in time versus the Predator, which I think is a great idea.
That's cool. Yeah.
So, yeah. No real plot for this, but it looks really good. So I'm excited for this year.
Awesome.
2025.
All right. Me too.
What are you looking forward to? Let us know down below in the comments. If you're watching us on YouTube, thank you so much. Hit like, hit subscribe, comment down below. Let us know what you are most anticipating this year. If you are listening to us, please leave us an amazing review on iHeartRadio or Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Really does help the podcast and grow and reach more listeners and more eyeballs.
That's right. Subscribe.
Yeah.
Suscríbete.
Subscribe.